Evening and welcome to another card and affirmation of the day for the 7th of June. I'm just going to turn this light down just a little bit because it's a little bit blaring. There we go, I'm not so bright. Thank you, Pixie. Okay, so this is my third live here on TikTok. So again, I'm just new to all of these lives, so bear with me. I'm also a little bit slower at reading the comments because I am registered blind, but I will try and read as many comments as possible as I'm going along. But basically, every day I will be coming on and doing an affirmation of the day, and I will be picking a live card of the day as well on here. Hi Pixie, how are you? Lovely to see you. Glad you could join my live on TikTok. No makeup today, it is like back of 11 at night, so I've just done my face with my face cream. That's it, nothing glam today. I've just got sparkles in my hair today. I thought, well, no makeup, but we can have sparkles. How are you doing? I hope you're keeping well. I hope you're keeping well. Okay, so I'm going to start with the affirmation of the day. And before I do that, I was going to say that on a Sunday, I'm going to be doing an extra live where I will come on for all my followers and do random card pulls for everyone that joins me on Sunday live. You know what? I'm going to turn off the invites just now because it'll just distract me from doing my cards. But you know what? Just because it's your friend's funeral today, I'm going to pick a card after my card of the day just for you, honey. But on Sunday, I will be doing a more just general come along and ask me for a card. But for tonight, it's just a card, one card of the day for everyone. But I will be doing a special one for Pixie because she's going to her friend's funeral tomorrow. But you know, I know funerals are really, really sad. But our loved ones that leave us wouldn't want us to be sad. Because really, in truth, we don't lose them. They're only a whisper away. And it's hard to think about that when you're actually at a funeral. But once the dust has settled from the funeral and stuff, you know, I find it a comfort knowing, because I've been working with spirit all my life, I know that for me, the people that I've lost in my life are only a whisper away. I lost my mom in 2009 to cancer. My dad was 1994 to cancer. But it's nice to know that I can still communicate with them for advice or guidance. It's the same with my great-grandmother, who I never even met, but she has been my guide since I was knee-high to a grasshopper. Oh, you're more than welcome. So I'm going to start with the affirmation of the day while I'm shuffling these cards. So the affirmation that I've chosen today is, I am enough. Because we never tell each other, or we never tell ourselves more importantly, God, I need my teeth in today. We never tell ourselves, more importantly, that we are enough. The world is full of people who are going to come into your life, they're going to judge you, they're going to say they really love you, they hate you, they loathe you, they're going to come as friends, but really they're enemies, etc. And people are all too willing, then you've got the green-eyed monsters, right? You've got the ones, she's got what I want, so I don't like her. But they don't realise that maybe that person has got something that you haven't got, but that person's maybe worked all their days to get that one thing. It's the same with when I promote my health and beauty products. In the sales industry, especially online marketing, there's a lot of jealousy. There are people like myself that put themselves out there day in and day out. It takes me it takes me double the time to do my TikToks because of my disability. But I put the effort in. I go on and I do the TikToks. And it can take me a couple of hours to do those. But I put the work in because whatever you put into something, you'll get out of it. But then there are others who will sit back and not do a single thing, but they're the first ones that will judge you. Oh, you're too big-headed. Oh, you're this, that, and your next thing because you're more successful than what they are, right? It's easy to put the blame onto somebody else for other people's, I guess, faults or whatever. And nobody in this world is perfect. Nobody. We all have our flaws. We all have our demons and we all have our battles to fight in life. But ultimately, we were created and put on this earth just as we are. We were meant to be just as we are. We are enough. Just being who you are, who I am, that's enough. And you know what? The people that don't accept you for the way that you are right now, if they don't think that you are enough, then they're not your tribe. The people that stick with you through thick and thin, that are there for you day in, day out, non-judgmental, being the first one to say, look, if you need me, I'm just a phone call away. They're the ones, they're the keeps, they're the keepies, right? As for the others, if others do not think that you are enough, then the fault lies with them, not you. Something is missing in their life that they feel that they are not enough. And it took me well over 50 years to realise that I am enough, because I went through 50 years of bullying and abuse. And I have been through the taunts, the bullying, the judgments, all of that. So, yeah. Hi, Jeremy. Thank you for the share, Pixie. I appreciate all the shares. More shares means that I can do more lives and get more people, help more people with my affirmations of the day and my readings of the day. So thank you. But yeah, going back to the affirmation of the day. If all you're saying to yourself today is, I am enough, you are enough. Even when we have our good days and bad days, we are still enough, right? We're only human. Don't beat ourselves up for having a good or a bad day. We are only human. We make mistakes. As my mother used to say, there's no need to there's no point in crying over spilt milk. You can't mop it up and drink it and scoop it up in the cup again, can you? It's gone. Let it go. And it's the same with other people's judgment. You can't change somebody's opinion of you. But you can say, do you know what? I'm enough just the way that I am. And if you don't like me the way I am, the door is stage left or stage right, whichever way you want to take it. You know, there's just so many ways that you can do. Send somebody away that doesn't belong to you, doesn't belong in your tribe. You can, you know, especially if you get into an argument, how many of us have met somebody in our life that come as a friend, and then we find out behind our backs they are doing the Chinese whispers. Oh, don't listen to her, she's this and she's that and she's the next thing. And what do the people that they're telling do? Do they go to the person that this person is telling them about? Of course they don't. They take their word for it. What I usually say, if somebody comes to me and says, what about her or him down the road? I think this, that and the next thing. And I think you should stay away from them. Like, we've all had people like that in our lives, right? My simple answer to that one is, you know what? I do have a brain of my own. And that person might not be right for you, but I'll make my own judgment on the person, thank you very much. I'll meet the person myself. I'll talk to the person myself. And I'll find out for myself. Because everyone is born with a natural intuition. We just need to learn to tune into that intuition. Your intuition, your gut will tell you if somebody is genuinely there for your highest good or whether somebody is there to twist the knife. You know, before technology, before television, radio and all of that, we were more in tune with our intuition. But there's so many things nowadays that block our intuition. Television, static, you know, electricity, even our ring lights, etc., that we use for going lives and doing videos and stuff. It all blocks our intuition. And what we're needing to do is get back to tuning into that intuition and being able to let your intuition guide you. Is this person right for me? Is this person going to judge me? Is this person going to stab me in the back? Oh, you're welcome. Hi, Anzie Beck. I'm just going through my affirmation of the day before picking today's card of the day. And on Sunday, I will be coming on and doing 2 lives. One, I will do the card of the day as I normally do. And then I'm going to do another live where you can come along, put the kettle on, have a coffee and ask me for a card, and I will try and get as many single card readings done as I possibly can during Sunday's live. If I don't manage to get you on the live for a card because maybe time's run out, because time is limited for me because I do personal readings and Reiki healings as well as run my health and beauty business. So I'm a busy witch, but I will get through as many as I can. Those that don't get a reading on Tuesday can go to my profile, and on one of my pinned posts there is a single card free reading. You just go along, put your name down, and I will put you on my list to do mini readings for you. It will be one single card, and it will be a 1-minute reading. And of course, anybody is welcome to book a full reading with me at any time. DM me for more information on that one. Hi, the bearded weirdie. I hope I pronounced that right. Lovely to see so many new names coming up. So I'm gonna say, that's today's affirmation. You are enough. And anyone else that tells you that you are not enough, maybe they're not your tribe. And maybe they should look for their own tribe. The people that stay in your life through thick and thin, through good and bad, they're your tribe. They're the ones that believe that you are enough. But more than that, you need to believe in yourself that you are enough. Tell yourself today and every day, I am enough. I am enough just the way I am, flaws and all. Yes, I'll make mistakes. Yes, I'll have booby days. Yes, I'll have bad days, good days, some so not days. I'll have happy days, I'll have sad days. But you know what? Through all of that, I am enough. Simple, I am enough. You're enough. Everyone here watching this video is enough. That's a good question. Thank you, Pixie. What if family members? But you know what? That's a really good question, because family are the hardest ones, aren't they? Right? In an ideal world, family should support everyone. Family should be backing each other up, right? Sadly, that's not the case. Far from it. Sometimes our closest enemies can be family members, and that's tough. That really is a tough one to deal with. And I have a prime example of that one. 8 years ago, I left my ex. He was a child abuser. He abused my own daughter, and my daughter then became a child abuser and abused her own children, which were my grandchildren. Now, my daughter is, I brought my daughter into the world. I brought her up to learn right from wrong. But I was also working full-time as a carer. And while I was working full-time, her dad was busy abusing her. Go figure, right? And yes, he was up in front of a child panel for it. But his family made him out to be Mr. Perfect. He couldn't do such a nasty thing. And all the social workers, etc., were telling lies. He got away with it. And my daughter, ultimately, after she had her children, she met an abuser as well. And every partner that she's had has been an abuser. And I made the hardest decision that any mum could ever make. And that was to turn away from my own daughter. Why? Because I couldn't condone child abuse. I couldn't condone her hurting my grandchildren. My daughter is my flesh and blood, supposed to be. And then to make matters worse, when I did leave her dad, eventually her dad's family banned me from seeing the grandkids. Again, that was so that I didn't find out about the abuse that was going on. My grandchildren told me all about the abuse. The social services knew about the abuse and did nothing to protect those kids. And they still do nothing to protect those kids. But I had to learn the hard way from a mum that sometimes you have to let go. Sometimes you just have to say, well, do you know what? If a family member doesn't see you as good enough, you can say, well, do you know what? That's fine. I think I'm good enough. No, in fact, change that. I know I'm good enough. And if you can't accept me for who I am, let's agree to disagree and go our separate ways. Because I don't want anyone putting me down. And I agreed to go, my daughter didn't agree. My daughter wanted to be a part of my life so that she could threaten me on the phone and threaten my current partner, etc., on behalf of her dad. I chose to cut all links with her dad and that family because I was healing from 30 years of abuse with that man. And I didn't want brought back and brought back and brought back and brought back to it. So I made the hardest decision. And some people judged me for it. How could a mum turn her back on her own, on her own daughter, etc. Thank you for the likes. Love, love, love the likes. Keep the likes coming, folks. I absolutely love the likes. So sometimes you have to make the hard decision. And you know what? I have a sister that probably thinks I'm not enough. But that's, you know what? At the end of the day, the fault lies with them, not you. You are enough. They are enough. Everyone is enough for themselves. We're all responsible for our own words, our own actions, etc. And we should, in an ideal world, we should accept people for who they are. And we should also accept that not everybody's going to like you. In an ideal world, wouldn't that be lovely if we could all just get on and everybody liked everybody? Sadly, that's not realistic. It's not being realistic. And you are going to get your haters, your judges. You are going to get your backstabbers. You are going to get the envy green monster people coming along. You're going to get the bullies. You're going to get the abusers in life. But you are enough and you own your own power. You have the right to say no. I won't accept negativity. I won't accept bullying in my life. I won't accept judgment of me and my life because I'm happy with the life that I have. And I would really, really love you to be happy for the life that I've got. But if you're not, that's for you to come to terms with. That I don't own that. You don't own that. So even with family members, you don't own their judgment of you. You can simply say, well, you know what, I am enough. I know I'm enough. Now, I've only met Pixie a few weeks ago or something, but even I know that Pixie is enough. You are enough just the way you are. You are a beautiful soul inside and out. And if people can't see you as that beautiful soul inside and out, let them go. Because they're not, even family. I've met some beautiful people on here that are more like sisters and daughters, etc. to me than my own family. Family are just blood. But sometimes it's the non-blood that can be the closest family of all. And at the end of the day, when you look at the global scope of things, we are all family, we are all connected. We're all brothers and sisters. We all belong and we all share this planet. We all breathe the air of this planet. So ultimately, we are all family. Just that some family don't get on. Oh, I love you too. You're more than welcome. But a lot of people don't look at the whole picture. They look at the small picture, right? They look at the small family network and they think everything's got to be rosy in this small family network and everybody's got to get on. No. look outside that small family unit. Whether we are, black, white, yellow, pink, blue, purple, whatever, we all we are all human beings, right? If we all go back family trees, somewhere those trees are connected. The roots to those trees are connected, right? But that doesn't mean to say that we have to get on with everybody. We're not going to get on with everybody. There's going to be people watching my lives that absolutely hate me. There's going to be people that watch my lives that absolutely like me. But that's okay, because I'm enough. I know my place on this earth. I'm a traditional witch, but I'm also an indigo, and I'm also a starseed. So I see beyond the earth realm. I see beyond the human form, and I see the bigger picture. And I try, through my readings and my cards of the day, and my affirmations of the day, to bring that wisdom to you and to anybody that wants to listen. Now, you can do whatever you want with that wisdom, right? You can grasp it and think, yeah, that's for me, but it might not be for you, right? Witches might not be for you. Heaven knows witches are the most judged people on this earth, not just in the here and now, but in the past. We were burned at the stake, hung or drowned, just for our beliefs. But does that stop us from being who we are, or being true to who we are? No. We continue to have our own beliefs. I'm a traditional witch and I'm pagan, but I respect all cultures, all religions, and surely that should be it. We should be able to exist, coexist in this world, and understand that we have got our own opinions, we have got our own paths, we have got our own beliefs. And who's to say who's right and who's wrong? Surely it's better to just coexist and agree to disagree. And if the whole world did that, the world would be a better place. What part of what I do makes me specifically a witch? I work with the elements, so I'm always out in nature. I don't have to have a church to worship. The woods, the ocean, my garden, outside, the earth is my church. I communicate more on the spiritual realm. I was able to communicate with spirit from a baby. From as long as I can remember, I have been communicating with spirit. Christianity, my parents were both Christians, so I respect Christians because that's what I was brought up with. But I knew when I was going to Sunday school and church, this was their beliefs, their structures did not fit with what I knew. I've also lived a few past lives as a witch and also as a Native American. So I have carried that wisdom with me, and that's for another live, because I'm going to do lives to explain deja vu, past lives, etc., etc. And you know what? Christians are the most wonderful people. My mum and dad were Christians, and you couldn't get nicer people. But it's the same with any religion or any belief system. You get good and you get bad. You get good witches and you get bad witches. You get witches that put me to shame, or try and not so much put me to shame, but blacken the witch's name. We used to call them wannabe witches because they so wanted to be a witch. They loved the idea of a witch, but they had no idea about the craft and what is involved in the craft. You know, if you went and asked them what the pentagram was, a lot of people will say the pentagram is a sign of a devil. It's not. The pentagram is far from the devil. The devil and the devil and Satan were actually made up by the Church of Rome. And the Church of Rome pointed Satan and devil worshippers at the witches. And it was the Church of Rome that burned and drowned and hung a lot of witches back in the 17th, 18th century. Exactly. You know, somebody's belief and somebody's culture and somebody's path does not make them a good or a bad person, right? A Christian doesn't make you a good person. A witch doesn't make me a good person or a bad person. You know, Jewish doesn't make them a bad or a good person. Hindu, Buddha, you know, all of these cultures, we can be in whatever culture or religion or set that we want. But that doesn't mean to say, oh, I'm Christian, so I'm a good person. I'm a witch, I'm a good person. I'm this, that, and the next. It's not your belief system that makes you a good or a bad person. It's your words, your thoughts, and your deeds. That's what makes you a good person. Exactly. Hi, Melanie. Lovely to see you. Exactly. It doesn't matter whether you're Christian, whether I'm a witch, whether somebody's a Jew, whether somebody's a Buddha. It doesn't matter what belief systems they have. Each one has different belief systems. And that's wonderful because we need variety, right? And they may have different reasons for me for being, you know, I just knew that the Bible, the Christianity way, was not for me. But I have some beautiful friends who are Christians. But I also have some Christians who aren't so, understanding. You know, mainly the Roman Church, because that was bred into their culture that witchcraft was evil. But the pentagram isn't evil. The pentagram is far from it. The pentagram explained is a 5-pointed star surrounded by a circle. The circle is cyclic, right? Everything is cycle. Everything goes through cycles: spring, summer, autumn, winter, and then we start back at spring. It's the same with we are born, we live our lives, we die, and we are reborn again. And the circle starts again. So the circle represents that. So what about the star itself? The star has nothing to do with Satan. The star, the 5-pointed star, represents the points of each star. We have 5 stars, 5 points of the star. The first one, it represents your spirit, your soul. Then you've got earth, air, fire and water. The 4 elements that make up the earth. Earth, air, fire, water, spirit. All part of our being. And we use this as a protection against negativity or against dark souls, etc. The devil has no part in all of this. So a lot of people will look at a pentagram, and because of other people's beliefs about the pentagram and not, I guess it's their ignorance about the pentagram. You know, it's like the Star of David. Star of David is more for the Jews, right? And it has specific meaning for the Jews. And some people will say that's evil. It's the same thing. It's lack of education, it's lack of understanding. And if we all took time to understand the different paths that we walk and the different protection amulets that people wear, like the pentagram, etc. I also, I was gifted this from my dear friend Tracy Fouts, and it's beautiful. It's a little amethyst crystal. So it's a healing crystal. So I wear that all the time along with my pentagram, healing and protection. That's it. Hi, Darrow. There you go. See, there's within one family unit, you have 3 different belief systems. And that's a lot of families do that. You know, my mum and dad were Christians. My brother, my sister, and myself were both brought up Christians. My sister doesn't go to church at all. My brother doesn't go to church at all. They don't really believe in anything. My sister used to dabble a little bit in witchcraft, and it wasn't for her. I turned away from the Christian church because it didn't fit into my beliefs. It didn't fit with my ancestors who had been guiding me all my life. So I turned away from the Christian church and found my own path. And that's what life's about, is finding your own niche, finding your own path, your own, you know, we're not supposed to walk the same path. We're supposed to use our intuition. And if it feels right, go with it. If it doesn't feel right, don't go with it. Tracy is absolutely wonderful. She and I have been friends for many years, and we have a lot in common. She's been through an awful lot. She's been through a lifetime of bullying, etc. And you know, she's one of these keepers. You know, a bit like Pixie. Pixie's a keeper, and she's always there. You know, just as well. I'm always there for anyone who wants advice. You know, anyone can DM me for advice. But if you're gonna jump in my DM box and ask me for a date, guys, I'm sorry, I'm taken. I have the most wonderful partner in the world, and I wouldn't trade him for the world. So, you know, don't come in my DM box asking me for WhatsApp numbers or email addresses or whatever. It ain't gonna happen. I have a wonderful partner in my life. He saved me from abuse. He is my number one, and I wouldn't trade him for the world. So I have put a post on, but I still get men jumping in my DM boxes saying, you know, oh, I know you've got a boyfriend, but can you email me? But can you leave me your DM or, you know, WhatsApp or whatever? No. Just no. Oh, bless. Do you know what? Questioning things is not a bad thing. Questioning things in life is actually a good thing. If you don't question, how will you learn? You won't. You know, a lot of people have asked me about witchcraft, and they've learned more about witches than they ever knew. And, you know, I had one woman says to me, I'm a bit afraid of you. And I said, why? And she said, because you're a witch. And I've heard that witches are Satan worshippers and they eat children or whatever. You know, and I'm like, no. Satan doesn't exist in our belief system. Satan was created by the Roman Catholic Church to control the masses and to turn others against witchcraft. It wasn't so long ago we got a letter through our door, an anonymous letter, basically saying, repent, repent, ye witch, and, or burn in the fires of hell for being a witch. Well, I took the letter, put it in my cauldron and burnt it. Guess the letter went to hell. I'm still here to tell the tale. But, was the fault with me being a witch? No, the fault was with the person that sent the letter, condemning me to burn in hell. From a person that doesn't even know me, that's never taken the time to ask about the craft. Witches are healers, and we are readers. And we are guides. We guide people on we will go out of our way. We will bend over backwards to help those in need. That's what our calling has always been throughout time. Yes, exactly. Yes, there are good and bad witches. There are witches that claim to be witches and they want to be a witch to gain the power to be able to curse and hex. I've been a witch all my life, and I don't believe in cursing or hexing anyone. And the reason that I don't believe in that is because what you put out into the universe, you get back. So if you willingly mean harm on somebody, maybe not now, maybe not 3 months' time, maybe not in 6 months' time, but somewhere down the line, somebody's going to come along and be just as bad to you. And why does that happen? Because we get back what we put out. So if you work from the heart and you go out of your way to help people and to advise them, it's up to them whether they take your advice, etc. or not. But no way would I ever mean anybody harm. A lot of people would say to me, why don't you curse your ex for abusing you for 30 years? Why don't you curse your daughter for abusing the children? No. I'm not her judge. She has to answer for her own actions. She'll receive her own karma. And that would be, the karma that she's going to receive is because she banned me from seeing the grandkids. The grandkids know that I still love them. And the grandkids already know that when they're old enough, they can come and see me anytime they want. So what's going to happen? When they're older, they're going to come and see Gran. They're going to get the truth that they were banned from seeing their Gran. Who are they going to turn against? They're going to turn against their own parents for taking the one person that they know was their protector, their Gran. Karma. I've seen karma work so many times. As a witch, I don't have to curse or hex anyone. I leave other people's words, actions, and judgments to karma. We have a saying in the traditional witchcraft, karma is a witch and a bitch and a very good one. Yep, exactly. Hi, Zena. Yeah, exactly. What goes around comes around. And when it does come around, we have a belief that everything's in threes. It comes threefold. So whatever one thing that you do to somebody, you will get it back 3 times. And that's a scary thought, right? Because if you're going to, my dad used to say when I was younger, a bully may be a bully now and think he or she is powerful because they can have control over another soul. But somewhere down the line, there's going to come somebody bigger, better, and stronger than him that is going to control him or her. Right? How true is that? Right? The fly may think it's big and strong, it can fly around, and then comes along Incy Wincy Spider, who's bigger and better than this and stronger than the fly, and eats the fly. And the spider might think, yay, I bet the fly and I'm bigger and stronger than the fly. And then along comes the cat and eats the spider. Cat's a lot bigger than the spider, right? And the cat thinks, yay, I've got a hold of this spider. I'm big and I'm tough and I'm strong because I was able to overcome or overpower the spider. And then along comes Big Dane Dog. Right? Cat has no chance against the Big Dane Dog. Same with the bird and the worm. So whatever, if we overpower somebody, somewhere along the line, somebody else is going to overpower us. Thank you, Pixie. You are so generous with the likes. Thank you so much with the likes. So I hope that helped. So I'm gonna shuffle these cards now. I could go on all night speaking to Pixie and everyone. I love when people ask me questions. I absolutely do. But I'll never get the card of the day done, and I'll never get that special card for Pixie picked for tonight. So let's do the card of the day first. So I'm just going to shuffle, and split all these beautiful cards and see what the card of the day done. I always used to do my cards of the day and affirmation on the day on Facebook. But for anyone that has been on Facebook, Facebook is not the same as it used to be. And I used to get a lot of likes and a lot of followers for doing my readings on Facebook. But I don't get half as many now. And that's because Facebook has changed. Their algorithm has changed. And they want you to pay to boost your posts on Facebook. Whereas on TikTok, you have to build up your followers before you can go live. And only when you get 1K followers do you get to go live. And I love that idea because you are going live on your own merit. You've put the work in to get the followers. You communicate with your followers. And therefore, you get the support. So I love TikTok. I love the fact that we have got such a good community here on TikTok. Everybody supports everybody. And I absolutely love that. That's interesting because animals can see spirit. Animals are spiritual beings. Same with children. Very young children can naturally see spirit. But it's only when they get older and life gets in the way and blocks all our chakras. We get stressed, with work and people around us, and you've got governments trying to control everything that we do, etc. I'm one of these ones that I don't follow politics, I don't follow man-made laws or rules. I make my own laws and rules, etc. If somebody tells me to do something that I know is wrong, I just don't do it. Hi RDT, is it RDT 157? Yes, animals can see spirit where we can't. They have an acute third eye. Our third eye sits in between your own two eyes, and if you look from sort of where your eyebrows kind of end, your third eye sits in just in between there. Some call it the all-seeing eye. And as we get older, our third eye can get blocked by people's judgments, stress, abuse. Disabilities can block the third eye sometimes. And it's only by clearing our chakras and meditation and just looking within that we can actually clear that third eye, but not everybody can do that. So when children get older, sometimes when they go into adulthood, the world just consumes them, and they're too busy running about with work, with the stresses of work, with home life, etc. The chakras get blocked, and it's often when our chakras are really, really, really clogged, that's when sickness comes into play. But if you keep your chakras clear and your channels clear, you don't get sick. Also, I stay away from pharmaceutical medicines because they're full of chemicals. You know, you heard the phrase, you know, I took the pill and it made me ill. Well, yeah, because it may cure one symptom of your illness, but if you look inside the prescription box, it has a whole list of possible side effects. So yes, you could take a headache tablet to cure a headache, but the possible side effects could be high blood pressure, allergic reaction, heart attack, palpitations. And I'm looking at these side effects and thinking, I don't want any of that. I'll stick to herbal, natural medicines, thank you very much. And even throughout the 2 years COVID pandemic, I've been around people with COVID, and I've never had COVID. I've never been vaccinated because I don't believe in chemical vaccines. I've never had COVID. And you might be thinking, well, how is that? Because I chose herbal over pharmaceuticals, and I haven't been ill for years because of it. She will definitely be able to see your bestie. You know, especially if your bestie was part of your cat's life as well. Your bestie will be around you and the cat. So, with the card of the day, 7 of Swords. Now, the 7 of Swords tells of troubles and problems that somebody has had in the past. You might have had a bad childhood. You might have been bullied, abused, judged, whatever the case may be. You may be going through grief, and you may be going through hurt of some other kind. And as time goes on, ideally we should leave all of that problem and trouble in the past. But sometimes that's easier said than done. And sometimes we leave some of the problems and troubles in the past and we carry the rest. Sometimes we carry the rest and we hide it, hoping it will go away, it will disappear. We put it to the back of our minds, thinking it will just disappear and it will go away in its own time. No, it won't go away because we haven't healed it. A lot of people will say, put everything in the past and leave it in the past. Wouldn't it be wonderful if we could all do that? And we can. But to be able to put absolutely everything in the past, we have to make sure that we're healing past hurts, traumas. We're healing past grief. Only when we heal from that can we truly put it behind us. But if we don't heal ourselves, if we don't do our inner healing from past wounds, past scars, then we can't move forward. We carry the burden with us into the present and into the future. And if we continue to hold it and not pull it out and heal it, that burden's going to get heavier. How many times have we picked up a shopping bag and we pick it up and it's light, right? And we think, I can carry this all the way home. I've got a mile to walk. This bag is not heavy. You walk half a mile, that bag starts getting heavier. You walk another quarter mile, that bag starts to get even heavier, right? And by the time that you are getting home, that bag is such a strain on your shoulders. And yet it was light when you picked it up. It's the same with the burdens and problems and troubles and the post-traumatic stress that we carry with us. We have to look within and heal that stress, heal that trauma before we can leave it in the past. And that's not easy. But one way of doing that is write it down. Go back, as far back as you can go in your past, from childhood to now. Go year by year if you must. And really, really do some soul searching. What happened in each year? Not just the good things. It's not the good things that we need to pull out here. It's the trauma, it's the hurt, it's the abuse, etc. I did this when I left my abuser 8 years ago. It took me months to write my list because I would go way back in time to when I was a child and getting bullied at school. And I would write that down and I would sob my heart out because writing it down is pulling it out, getting it down on the paper. Let me tell you, by the time I finished, I could have actually wrote a book of all the horrors that I went through in life. So what did I do with it? Once it was out and into the paper, what did I do with it? I burnt it. And I cast it to the four winds, north, south, east and west. And I said, universe, take this away from me. I don't want to carry it anymore. I've pulled it out, I've confronted it, now I want to let it go. And when I cast the ashes, I know it's gone. I can move on from there. It's not an easy process, it's often a painful process, going back and writing it down. And you're not going to do it all in one night. Because there's going to be things that are going to come up that are going to wrench the heart right out of you. Because you're going back to the trauma. You're going back to what needs healed. And you're writing it down. And then you're burning it. That could take months. With some people it takes years. I still have some writing to do. I still have traumas that I need to release, and I still go back from time to time. We will always pick up trauma along life's road. And if we can learn to release it in such a way, then we're not going to carry this burden, and that burden's not going to carry on being heavier and heavier and heavier. So if this card relates to you today, it's telling you you need to go back in time and you need to heal that what is hidden within. We all have things that we can't confront. We don't want to confront it. It's too painful to confront. It's too painful to look back on. But look back on it we must, if we're going to heal. We must confront it. Confront our fears, head on, scary though it may be. Then get it out on paper, and then burn the hell out of it. And you can either cast it to the four winds, or you can bury it in the earth, and let Mother Earth take away all of that hurt, all of that pain. And she'll replace it with healing for you. I have Earth and Sky healing meditation on my Lady Moonlight YouTube channel, link in the bio. And so many people have tried it. And they've said it, and I've done past life regression, where I've gone back in people's past lives. And again, doing the past life regression can also bring out trauma. Not just trauma in this life, but trauma in past lives. Because when we've had traumas in past life and we haven't healed them in that past life, we carry them on into this life. So sometimes it's not just a case of looking back on our trauma in this lifetime, we have to go way back. And you can do that through meditations and stuff. Yes, I can if spirits speak to me. You know, I wish I could just, I wish it was like a phone directory where you can just dial up a number and communicate with whoever you want to communicate with. It doesn't always work that way. You can actually ask the universe or ask the spirit realm for messages. And when I pick a card for you, what is your bestie's name? Because when I'm shuffling the cards for you, I can shuffle the cards while saying her name. Sometimes that's enough to bring her through, and I can get messages through the cards as well. Often when I do full 1 hour readings for people, I'm reading the card. But when I'm doing that reading for that specific person, their relatives and friends come through from spirit. His name is Ollie. Okay. So has Ollie got a surname? What was Ollie's surname? So I'm just going to shuffle these cards for Pixie. And I'm going to... okay, Ollie Harris. So as I'm shuffling the cards, I'm going to ask for Ollie Harris, if he's around. Now, is it Ollie's funeral tomorrow? Hi, Keris. The reason, I'm sure you said at the beginning, it was a friend's funeral, so I'm just wondering if this friend's funeral that you're going to tomorrow is Ollie's funeral tomorrow. Because sometimes if it's too near the funeral, they might not be able to come through, because when we go into spirit, we have a transaction, we have a, not transaction, what's the word I'm looking for? We have a healing process that they go through. They have to, an adjustment period, right? That they have to go through. Because it's a big, pardon me, it's a big change for them to suddenly be on the earth plane and then suddenly be on spirit realm. And to some spirits it can be a bit of a shock. Some spirits take it in their stride. Okay. Can I ask, was it a sudden, I'm beginning to think I'm feeling it was a sudden death. I feel he had been ill for some time, but the illness wasn't picked up straight away, if that makes sense. It was a hidden illness. I feel he didn't like to complain. He was one that didn't like to complain, if that makes sense. I just feel that he held a lot back because he didn't want to bother anyone. I don't know if you can take that, but he just didn't want to bother anyone. Yeah, yeah. Okay, thank you for the confirmation. Yeah, and that's why he's saying he had a long-term illness, but the death itself was sudden and unexpected. And he said a lot of people blamed themselves because they couldn't save him. Nobody was to blame. And he wants to get that across as I'm shuffling these cards. Nobody was to blame for the heart attack. It could have happened at any time. I feel he's still going through quite a bit of an adjustment from where he is now, but is there somebody around Ollie's family? Was somebody with Ollie when he took the heart attack, and they tried all they could to help him? And I feel that person is holding a lot of guilt because they couldn't save him. Okay, so his mum was with him then, because he's saying a family member was with him, and that family member is holding a lot of guilt because she so wanted to help him. And I feel that, she's like, I could have done more. She's a type of person, I needed to do more. I wanted to do more. I really wanted to help him. And I feel that he's saying she feels that on hindsight, if she could go back, she might have been able to save him. But in hindsight, he said there's nothing that she or anyone could have done to help him. And he doesn't want her to feel guilty. He doesn't want anyone to feel guilty. Just like he didn't like to complain on the earth, neither does he like to complain where he is. And he said, do you know what? Life goes on. He says, I'm not dead. Life goes on. It's beautiful where he is. And he's still got a lot to learn. He's still got to get his bearings. But he will be there with you in body, spirit and soul, and with his mum, and with all his friends and family at the funeral tomorrow. But also he's saying he was always happy. He was always, he was always the life and soul of any party. And if somebody was down, he would make them smile. And he said, he doesn't want any sad faces at the funeral. Because that wasn't him, if that makes sense. Yes, you can be a witch and you can be a Christian. You have traditional witches, which are pagan witches such as myself. I'm a crone witch, a traditional pagan witch. You can be a Christian witch, and the Christian witches go under the Wicca. A lot of people confuse Wicca and traditional witchcraft as one of the same thing, and it's not. It's totally different paths. One's a Christian witch path and the other's a traditional witch path. So yes, it's possible to be Christian and to also be a witch. I would love, do you know what? I would love to do another card pull. But I'm going to be doing a card pull. This live is more for the card of the day. And the reason that I picked a card for Pixie was because Pixie's going to a funeral tomorrow. and she was desperate to hear from her best friend Ollie. So I had agreed to pick a card, which I'm just going to pick. However, on saying that, every day I'm going to be here doing card and affirmation of the day. And this Sunday, I will let everybody know in my in a bio post what time. But on Sunday, I'm going to do an added live where I can just come on and do random card pulls. Also, as well as that, I do have a post on my bio, on my profile page, and it's a one card pull post. And if you go along to that post and you comment with, "Can I have a card, please?" I add you to a card list, and then when I get round to doing, every day I will pick 2 or 3 names from that list, and the list is growing. It's getting bigger. And I will do a single card reading and tag your name in that as well. So you can either go along to my profile and pop your name down, and I will definitely do a one card pull for you, or join me on Sunday for my come along and ask me for a card. I've just done the card of today's card of the day, which was the 7 of Swords, and the 7 of Swords was to tell us that if you're joining this live and the card resonates with you, there is some kind of hurt that you have to deal with from the past. Now, sometimes we carry trauma or hurt from childhood, and we push it to the back of our minds, or we bury it, hoping it will go away. It never does go away. And we think we put it in the past. We haven't. We're carrying it into the present, and we're carrying it into the future with us. And the burden just gets heavier and heavier and heavier, and we never heal from it. What we need to do then in such a situation is the card of the day, the 7 of Swords, is saying we need to go back from childhood to now. Year by year, go back as far as you can remember, and go back through whatever trauma, whatever hurt you have gone through, and write it down. It doesn't have to be all in one day. When I went through 30 years of abuse and I got out of 30 years of abuse, it took me at least 6 months or so just to write the majority of it down, because it was so painful when I was writing down what I had endured through abuse, etc. It was so painful that sometimes, you would bawl your eyes out. That's part of the healing. You're writing it down on paper, and it's going to bring out the hurt, because you're confronting what you try to hide, what you try to put behind you, but you didn't put behind you. So ultimately, you're pulling that out, you're putting it on paper, and then you can either burn it or you can bury it in the garden. And then it's gone. You've healed it. But you must go through that process. And even if there is still something left behind, it might be that you are carrying trauma from a past life, in which case a past life meditation or a past life regression would be a good thing to do to get rid of past traumas. I've had 6 past lives, and a lot of my past life traumas I've had to deal with and bring to the forefront as a witch and heal them, sort of thing. So that's the card of the day for everyone. Hi, Crazy Mama's Adventures. Hi, how you doing? Lovely to see you. Hi, No Green. If I've missed anyone, hi, everyone. Oh my goodness. Means some of my followers on here is just, whew. Hi, Holly Silly Corner. What a lovely name. Love that. It's a jolly name. So I've just done the card of the day. I am going to do a mini card and affirmation of the day. The affirmation for today is I am enough. And the card of the day was the Seven of Swords. So for anyone that missed the beginning of this, I am going to save this video to my YouTube channel for anyone that has missed the card and affirmation of the day. My YouTube channels are Lady Moonlight is my primary one, and I've also got the Mystic Witch. So I save my TikTok ones to the Lady Moonlight. Eventually I'm going to put them on to the Mystic Witch one as well, but you'll find the link on my my website link on my bio, and that has all my links. It has my YouTube channel on there, and you can see a lot of the stuff that I do, etc. And you'll see all of my past TikTok. This is my third TikTok live card of the day. Can't believe it. And it's all thanks to all my wonderful followers that got me to the 1K. So I know Mama's Adventures is one of my followers, and I have a huge thank you because she's part of the 1K that got me to come and do my lives right here. Yes, Ollie's saying, for as much as he would love you to be able to read out his card on his funeral or whatever, he knows how much his passing meant to you. And he's saying, with all the goodwill on this earth, he feels that you may, you know, though you want to go up and read his card, he feels that it might just be too much, too soon, if that makes sense. And it, you know, it's a tough thing to do. And I see where Ollie's coming from, because when my dad passed away, I wrote a poem. I guess a bit like what you've done to Ollie. And I wrote this poem. And I wrote one for my mum as well when she passed away. And before the funeral, they asked me, will I go up and read this poem for my mum and for my dad? I couldn't do it. I knew in my heart of hearts I couldn't do it on the day of the funeral. I was still grieving for my mum, and I was still grieving for my dad when we were burying my dad. And I knew deep within myself, if I got up on the pulpit or whatever and I started reading the poem. So what I did was, I did the next best thing, and I got the celebrant to actually read the poem for me. But Ollie was saying he knows what's in it because he was with you when you wrote it. So ultimately, it doesn't matter whether you read it or whether somebody else reads it out. He already knows what's in it. And he wants you to know, thank you so much for writing it. Yes, he did. And that's what he's worried about. You know, he's saying it's going to be tough enough for you tomorrow without having to go up there and then end up in a big put. He's such a comic. He's saying if she goes up there and tries to read that poem, she's going to be like the witch in the Wizard of Oz. She's just going to be like a little puddle. She's just going to melt halfway through it. You know, he says you're a little sensitive flower. Yep, I've noticed. I have noticed he's a bit of a little comic. Now the card that I picked with from Ollie is the Five of Wands. Now the Five of Wands is saying, you know, it's not just his mum that's hurting, you're hurting, his family's hurting. But he's saying, don't be like him, in that don't bottle it up. The Five of Wands talks about working together, being there for each other, building each other up, helping each other to heal. Now he said he puts his hands up and quite freely admits, you know, here he is giving this advice when he did the opposite. He preferred not to talk about his illness. He preferred not to talk about the days when he was struggling with his illness, because he didn't want to bother anybody, right? He said, I can't let the side down. Good old Ollie, smiling or happy Ollie. And he wanted to be remembered for the happy, smiling Ollie. And that's kind of what he did right to the end. But he's saying, you know, don't make the same mistake that he did. Had he lived his life over again, maybe he should have spoke about his illness a little bit more to others. But it's all right in hindsight, isn't it? Oh, wow. And there you go. Well, thank you so much for the confirmation for that. But that's what he wants you to continue to do. He says you're a strong family. And he says you need to be with each other through this. And he's going to be with you every step of the way. He's going to be with you tomorrow. He's there every day anyway. But he is more concerned about the guilt that his mum's having. And he doesn't want his mum to feel guilty. There was absolutely nothing she could have done. You know, he's kind of saying, you know, come in number 9, your time is up. You know, and that's what he's saying. He says, when your time's up, your time's up. There's nothing we can do about it. There's absolutely nothing we can do about it. You know, he has adjustments to make where he is, but he wants you to know that any illness that he had on the earth plane is gone. Because the illness we carry, we leave in the physical body. So he has no illness, he has no heart condition, he has no food allergies, he has nothing like that where he is. You know, yes, he would dearly love to be with you all still. But he says ultimately, you know, when your time's up, your time's up. And we just have to muddle through. But he wanted his message to come through to bring hope. Not just to you, but to his family, to his friends that knew Ollie. Say life goes on. We don't die. We just start a new chapter. We just enter another, it's like, he says it's like going on holiday. You know, some trips you prepare for and you pack your case in preparation for going on that holiday or moving to another country. In other cases, it's a rush job. In his case, it was a rush job. He says he probably left his underpants and a pair of socks behind, and obviously an odd sock because he was a bugger for odd socks, he says. You know, but what he's saying is that, you know, whether we prepare for the journey, whether we don't, ultimately we all have to make that journey in life. Yep, yep, no pain. He has no pain. He says pain goes and only peace and healing remains. So that's basically what your card from Ollie was saying. Please work together. You know, I will be sharing this live on my Lady Moonlight channel, because I know that YouTube channel, because I know that once this live ends, it's only myself that can see the replay, but I can download it, which I will be doing. I would download in all my lives here on TikTok and putting them on my Lady Moonlight YouTube channel. You'll find the link in my bio. So for anyone that has missed this live, they can go along to the Lady Moonlight channel on YouTube. The link is in my bio. And if you subscribe, you'll never miss any of my lives or my readings, because they'll all be going on the Lady Moonlight channel. I also have a Mystic Witch channel as well, and eventually I'm hoping to upload them to both. But I'm concentrating on the Lady Moonlight one just now. Oh, thank you. Well, the link is in my bio, and you'll see all my videos on there. I'm also gonna save them to the Spiritual World of the Mystic Witch on group on Facebook as well. So it will be posted on there as well. But Ollie wants to send you so much love, and he's saying thank you so much for the beautiful card. Now, did you draw a flower, or were you thinking of a flower when you wrote the card? Because he's saying something about the flower. Is there a flower either on the card or inside the card that you wrote? Because he's saying he loves the flower, if that makes sense. If you go to my profile page, and just under my profile there is a link for that has all of my website. It's my website link, and it has all of my YouTube channels, my Facebook channels, my TikToks, and my shop for health and beauty stuff. Yep, he says that's what he means with the flower. I think you were supposed to do, he says the flower is just perfect. So yes, draw the flower. You're more than welcome, Angel Moon. All my links are on there on my profile. If you go to the Mystic Witch, and you'll see the page, my profile page, and it has traditional witch, spirit healer, and then it has a link. It's a clickable link. Just click on that link and go through the website. It has all my links on there to my Lady Moonlight YouTube channel. Ah, right, okay, so the robin is on the front. That's why he's saying put the flower inside. If the robin's on the front, the flower goes inside. Best of both worlds. So I hope that helps. He says it's only right that you put a little tiny flower inside, because for as much as you remember him in that way, you know, he says you're still his sensitive little flower. his delicate little flower, he says. So the flower is perfect. And he said, that was your original thought, was the flower. But it was changed to the robin, which he does love robin redbreasts as well. But he says, put the flower on the inside. Okay, he's saying, can I ask you, Pixie, is pink your favourite colour? Because he's saying, obviously, it's got to be pink. Is pink your favourite colour? Okay. Well, he's saying he likes pink, but red's just as good as well. Or he says, why not have pink with red? Pink and red. Do whatever colour comes to mind. He says a flower is a flower. It doesn't matter what the colour. It's beautiful anyway. And he says, let's face it, pink, pink to make the boys wink. Hi, Taylor. That's the two colours he's gave, red and pink. He said if he could have had his bedroom red, all red, he would have had it all red, but his mother would have had a fit. I'm so glad you are relating to his message. I love when people give me feedback from the messages, because I know I've got the right person, and two, you know you've got the right person. So I'm awful glad that he was able to communicate with you. He says, you know, you were meant to be on this live tonight to receive that beautiful message. Yep. He was a little bit of a rebel without a cause. It's like everything that he wanted to do, she didn't want him to do. But he was like one of these people that, you know, if you said to him, don't do, he will sneakily do it anyway. Hi, Pretty Pink Petals. What a lovely name, Pretty Pink Petals. Well, I would love, love, love to sit here all night and talk to you wonderful, wonderful people. Thank you so much for all the likes. You've just been so welcoming. I will put this on to my Lady Moonlight YouTube channel once TikTok has processed it. So anyone who has missed this live session can go back and watch it. I'm also going to do a little mini card and affirmation of the day that goes hand in hand with this as well, and that will be on my profile page as well. But if you want to see the full affirmation of the day and today's card of the day, and of course Pixie's beautiful message from Ollie, you can follow the video or watch the video again on my Lady Moonlight channel. You'll find the link on my bio on my profile page. It's a clickable link, and that's my website where you'll find all my social media links, where you can find the Mystic Witch or Lady Moonlight as I'm known to my friends. And you can also find my shop where you'll find natural health and beauty products that have helped me to look younger and to be more healthier, because I don't do pharmaceutical or chemical stuff. I've been natural herbs for years, and I just it's kept me healthy in my 57 years. So I do promote all the products in the shop that I use. He says, no need for me to tell him because he hears you. He's sitting having a giggle because he's saying, she's asking you to tell him how much you love and miss him. But he's heard you anyway. And he wants you to know, if you want to speak to him, just say it. He'll hear it. You can either say it out loud or you can say it in your thoughts. Either way, he will hear you. He's actually laughing. He says he's been hearing you all along. I'm just the go-between, I guess. Because when you can't, for people that maybe their third eye chakra and their crown chakra is so blocked they can't communicate with spirit. I've been communicating with spirit since I was a child. And they just won't leave. So I guess it's my destiny to help others through my readings. So even though I can hear Ollie and I can see Ollie and you can't, it doesn't mean to say that Ollie can't hear you. He can. He can hear your words and he can hear your thoughts. So he says he's only a whisper away. And whenever you want to talk to him, just talk to him. He hears everything. Yes, he's heard your rants and he's heard your frustration, and he says, she's got a mean temper and she's got a mean, whatever, and she's like, he's even heard you saying, why the hell did you leave me? How could you leave me like this? He's heard it all. He says there's nothing he hasn't heard. Hi, Johnny McCurry. So, I'm so glad you joined as well, Pixie. I'm so glad Mama's Adventures joined. I'm so glad to see new names on here. I will be back tomorrow at some point with another card and affirmation of the day. So watch out for that tomorrow. It'll probably be in the evening because I have my autistic son visiting me tomorrow. So during the day is going to be kind of like a busy time. So I will probably be back on in the evening some point with card and affirmation of the day. In the meantime, if anyone has missed any of this and they would like to watch the replay, especially Pixie's beautiful message, please go to the link in my bio. And if you click on that link, it will bring you to my website. And on my website, if you scroll through left to right on my website, it has all my social media links, and you'll find all my lives on TikTok on the Lady Moonlight YouTube channel. Just click on the link and it will take you straight there, and you'll be able to see that on all my videos. Especially if you subscribe to my Lady Moonlight channel, you'll never miss another TikTok live. So thank you all for making me feel so welcome. Thank you also. It's a great opportunity when I'm going live to thank all my followers. I have met some absolutely awesome people here on TikTok, and I can't thank you all enough, because without your help, without your support, I wouldn't have got to 1K and I wouldn't be here now live with you all sharing the cards and thoughts of the day. For anyone who would like a 1 minute, 1 card mini reading, please go to my profile. On one of the pinned posts, there is a readings post. Simply just say card please, and I will add you to a list, and I will get through my reading list as quickly as I can. But please bear in mind, as well as coming on TikTok and doing my readings with you, my cards of the day and the TikTok post, I am a Reiki master as well. So I do Reiki healing, I do full booked card readings for people, as well as spending time with my wonderful partner as well. So I try and fit at least 2 to 3 cards, mini cards a day into my day so that I can get through the list. Thank you to everyone who's already asked for a card. What happens is I put your name on the list, and then when I read your card, I will tag you in that reading when I post that card reading, so that you're able to watch that on the profile and share it or whatever. So thank you all for your support. I absolutely adore you all. Yes, a child of 3 would definitely be able to understand you, because when if you look at life, for example, I'm just going to give, it's quite complicated. I'm going to give you an example of my life. I'm a traditional witch. I'm a elder. I call myself an elder crone. We have a crone witch and we have elder crone. The reason we have the elder crone is because elder crones have lived past lives. So I have, to my knowledge so far in this life, I have had 6 past lives. So during those past lives, they may have been a child, they may have been an adult when they passed over, they may have been, a teenager, whatever. But that's a physical age. It's not the soul age. So even though you lose a child at 3, which is such a young, it's heartbreaking when you lose a child that young, because they've just started their life on this earth plane. But that doesn't mean say you can't communicate with them. One of my best friends, who's called Stacey, she lost a beautiful baby daughter. And yet she's had some beautiful, I've done some beautiful messages with cards for her daughter that have meant so much to her, because although her daughter may have been young baby when she passed over, her soul was older, if that makes sense. So yes, a child can still communicate with their parents, etc., through readings. You are wonderful. Thank you so much for all the likes. Honestly, I'm just bold. It took me a long time to pluck up the courage to come on to TikTok, and it was my friend Tracy Fowles who said, you need to put your gifts onto TikTok. And it was terrifying, and I thought, right, okay. So I started doing some of my posts, and within 2 or 3 weeks I reached my 1K, so I was able to come on here and do lives. Let me tell you, I have met some beautiful, beautiful souls on here, beautiful friends. I've met new friends on here, and I can't thank all you followers enough for getting me to the 1K so that I can come on and do lives here, because truth be known, I've done lives on Facebook, and the people on Facebook are nowhere near the high class, warm, friendly souls on TikTok. So I have found my home on TikTok. So I kind of changed my routine. I used to do card and affirmation on the day live every day on Facebook, and then I would post the Facebook ones onto my Lady Moonlight YouTube channel. But I moved to TikTok, and I realized there was a better class of people here on TikTok. So now I'm doing my lives on TikTok, and I will share my lives on my Facebook group. And if anyone's on Facebook, again, all my links are in my website on my bio page, or my profile page. but my Facebook group, where I do some readings and stuff like that on Facebook, not so many now. I do mostly a lot here on TikTok now. But I do still dabble and do a few things on my Facebook, which is the Spiritual World of the Mystic Witch, is my Facebook group. I have 2 YouTube channels. Lady Moonlight channel is one, and the Mystic Witch is the other one. My main one is the Lady Moonlight one, but eventually I'm going to put all my TikTok ones onto the Mystic Witch one as well. But for now, I'm just concentrating on getting the lives posted onto the Lady Moonlight one. So I'm going to pop off and do the mini card and affirmation of the day. And I also have 2 mini readings to do as well for people who put their names down for one of the single cards on my profile. So thank you, Pixie, for joining me tonight. Thank you to everyone. Do you know what? I can actually do a live one day if that would interest you, about the passing over. What happens when we pass over? And because when we pass over, people think there is, like, a lot of people have their own beliefs and whatever. I have actually, as a traditional witch and an old soul, some call me an indigo child or a star seed as well, because this is my earthly home, but I've often astral traveled to spirit realms and stuff, so I have a little bit of experience about what happens when we transcend from this earth plane into spirit plane, and the transition and all of that. So if anyone would like me to do a live about that, please let me know, because I can schedule that. I would more than happy be able to kind of schedule that and give you my insight into that side of it. So I would love to talk to you wonderful people all night. I could just sit here. You've made me feel so welcome. Thank you for all the likes, and for anyone that sent gifts, thank you for the gifts. Every little helps, because I work from home. Oh, fantastic. Well, yes, I will. Now, let me see. What day are we on? You know what? I forget. I've been so busy this week doing readings and Reiki healings, and sometimes I forget what day. We're on Tuesday, aren't we? Let me think. I'm doing a card pick on Sunday. I'll probably do that in the evening, and my card and affirmation of the day probably will do during the day, because I'm going to do, or I might combine them both. We'll see how I go. I might do the afterlife thing on Saturday evening then. But what I will do, if you, anyone who would like to be a part of that live discussion about the afterlife, send me a DM and saying, can you please tag me into your afterlife? I'll jot your name down and I will tag you into the live when I go live. Failing that, if you do miss a live, all my lives I'm going to be posting onto my Lady Moonlight YouTube channel. So if you do miss my live, you'll get it on the Lady Moonlight channel as well. I will tag you. No problem. Oh, you're more than welcome. Thank you so much to everyone that has followed me. Honestly, I have been blown away. When my friend Tracy asked me to come on to TikTok and share my readings and my knowledge and my experience, etc., with everybody, I thought, You know, I thought TikTok was for the young things, not for an old crone like me. And I thought, I can't do TikTok. I can't go on there, and I can't do the fancy dances. I'm 57. Jeez, me doing the carumba and whatever it is. No, I'm not. I said, no, you don't have to do that. Whatever you do on Facebook, you can do on TikTok. And she twisted my arm, and about 3-4 weeks ago, I went fully into my TikTok, still learning about it, and I was blown away that within 3-4 weeks I had reached the 1K, so that I was able to do my lives here. And let me tell you, my first live, I didn't even post to my YouTube channel. I was a nervous wreck. Absolutely no. I must have bumbled it and mumbled it or whatever, but I was an absolute oh my gosh. However, you folks have made me feel so welcome. I am a traditional witch. I am registered blind. I have very little vision, but I can read if I go up close to you'll see me going close to the screen to read the text. But although my physical vision is very, very poor, the fact that I'm almost blind, my third eye is so strong, and that's why my readings are so powerful. And I've helped, in my 57 years, I've helped so many people with so many problems, whether it's through grief, losing someone special, and actually coming to terms with that, or given messages like I gave to Pixie today. And it's, you know, the comments that I get afterwards, and it just blows me away. And I love doing what I do. It's been my calling to come and help others on this earth plane. I've always known since I was a little girl that I was here to heal, to read for people, and to guide people, and to give advice. Obviously, it's up to everyone that I give advice to, whether you choose whether you want to follow that advice or not follow that advice. But my advice is free. My full readings aren't free. I do my full readings on Facebook Messenger, and then all my readings are an hour long, or I say approximately an hour long. I've seen my readings go to an hour and a half long, and that's because I don't believe that a reader, I've seen readers advertise 20-minute readings, 30-minute readings, etc. And they charge 50, 60, 70, 80 pounds for a 15-minute, 20-minute or 30-minute reading. And I'm like, I can't even warm up my spirits in that time, let alone give them a reading. And you can't fit everything in. And if you watch this video back on my YouTube channel or my Facebook group, which is the spiritual world of the Mystic Witch, you'll know how long it took me to do the card of the day and to read Pixie's card. You don't do that in 20 minutes. You don't even do that in 30 minutes. I can do my little mini cards because they're a general card, and I kind of just cram all the information into a 1-minute video. But when I'm doing card of the day lives, I like to give the full card of the day. And when I'm doing my full readings are, I always charge £25 because it's an hour and a half of my time. Sometimes in more serious cases, sometimes it can be an hour to 2 hours. But it's the same price because I believe in quality of helping people. Rather than, you can't put a time on helping someone. You just can't. A lot of people are in it just for a quick buck or whatever. And money is no issue for me. I only charge for my hour and an hour's reading, but often I go to an hour and a half or 2 hours at the most. because I'm sitting talking to the person, but I'm communicating with the spirit, and I'm getting clarity from both. And it, so far, touch hairy words, people keep coming back my readings. So, and I've had so much lovely feedback from my little mini readings that I do on my profile. So thank you all so much. You are awesome. I will do. So I'm gonna wish you all a wonderful Tuesday. What's left of it? And I think we're going into. Am I going into Wednesday here? Yes, I'm on to Wednesday here because I'm in Scotland, UK. Some of you will still be on Tuesday. I will be back tomorrow evening with another card of the day and affirmation of the day. So feel free to join me then. I'll also be here on Sunday with a card of the day, which will probably be during the day. And in the evening, I'm hoping to do a general poll for anyone that wants to join me on the live, etc. And in between that, I'm also going to be doing a live by popular request about what happens when we pass over. From my experience as an old soul who's lived quite a few past lives, where do we go when we leave this earth's plane? How do we transform? Is there a heaven? Is there all these questions? Please follow me for news of that. I will try and fit that in this week for you all as well. I do have a really busy schedule because during the day and sometimes at evenings I like to spend it with my partner, but I also like to help people here on TikTok now. So thank you so much for everyone that's joined me live. You are absolutely wonderful. And I hope you follow me. I always, if you're following me and you comment, I will go to your page always and say hi. Thank you for the follow, because that's what I do. I've met some wonderful people on here. So thank you all so very much, and I will see you all tomorrow evening. So thank you, Pixie. Thank you, everyone. See you all tomorrow. Have a great evening. See if we can turn this off. Sometimes this is a little bit slow to end, so bear with me, folks. There we go.